Weirdos.
At least I think so. And the beat go. Something over.
You got some commas in the bank, now that's a major move. Free yourself from what they think, now that's a major move. When they retreat.
You'll tune in to the greatest show on earth, or soon to be one of the greatest shows on earth, man. Gold Mine Money is yet another episode. I'm your host, Billy Slum. And right to my left, I got my player partner, Drumgang P, Drumgang Kev.
What's going on, man?
You know what I'm saying? Extraordinary producer.
Appreciate you.
You know, work with a lot of people, man. We'll just jump right into it.
Yeah.
I know people know the name, they may not necessarily see the face, because you, again, like my homie QP, just like, you know, you like being in the cut or whatnot, man. But, you know, Drumgang, they know the name, now they know the face. Run down your resume for us, man.
Oh, man, some of the people we work with, everybody from Young Dro to Big Sean to 2 Chainz to you. To Mac Miller, Outlaws, Cool G Rap.
Rest in peace, Mac Miller.
Yeah, rest in peace to Mac Miller. Most definitely. Nappy Roots. It's a nice long list, man. Team did a joint for Trouble right here in Atlanta.
Okay, that's what's up.
We did Questions for Trouble. Joint, real popular joint for him. Lil Scrappy. We can go on, man. We did a lot of work.
Yeah, man. Been knowing this brother for a long time. Actually, we met at the 9 to 5.
Yeah, 9 to 5.
I think it was via the homegirl.
Yeah, man. Everybody, I usually try to play it low key with the music, but everybody kept telling me that you was the same way. Like, yeah, you know this guy right here, dude. We sat like right across, but neither one of us talked about our music, and people was like, this guy right here do music. And finally, I approached him. We approached each other, and it's been about damn near 10 years almost.
Yeah, man.
Doing different things. Yeah. Most definitely.
Solid guy, man. Again, always been the same. You know, I'm the type of person, I'm real big on energy.
Man.
You know, and if I don't connect with you, I really ain't. I can't fake kick it.
Right.
You know, not to say that I'm just like an asshole to people. That's not me. I'm just kind of like to myself, kind of reserved for the most part. But if I connect with you, then I fuck with you. Then I fuck with you the long way. You know.
And that's the same way. I mean, I'm the same way. That's how me and my guys are the same way. I pretty much play the background, like you said. I don't really put my face out there. With all the people we was producing for and stuff, everybody used to say that. Why don't you put your tag throughout the beat? Why don't you get your face out there and shit like that? And for me, it was always because of the music. Like, my favorite producers were the ones who didn't necessarily have to be all over your goddamn song.
All in the video.
Yeah, all in the videos. You know, like the people. I grew up listening to a lot of East Coast hip hop and down south, but you never heard Pete Rock putting a tag on somebody's song. You never heard a DJ Premier, but you also never heard a DJ Toomp putting a tag on somebody's song and wanting to be the star of the video. And those are the guys I looked up to.
You name those dudes, you know a Toomp record when you hear it.
You know it when you hear it.
You know a Premier record when you hear it.
Yeah.
You know Pete Rock when you hear it.
Right, and the people who mess with our music, they feel the same way.
Right
so much so to I get called, you know, whenever they think something is from us because it sounds a little similar. Because mess like my man QP said in the interview earlier, people try to get you with the finesse, you know, and people hear your stuff and want to replicate it, and they come with it at us the same way. I think we have a pretty distinct sound, so we try to make a lot of soul music. You know, stuff we've done, I always try to push the soul. I think that sometimes y'all be getting mad at me because y'all be wanting me to come with the UN chief. Y'all be wanting me to come with something lighter for the people who, you know, but I always want to push the soul, man. To me, it's always about that, and it's about having a distinct sound, and it's also about having a sound that can compete with anybody. Just to keep going, like, what I wanted to do with music, what was most important to me was proving to these motherfuckers that guys from small town USA could compete with motherfuckers that was from the Manhattan, Harlem, the Miamis, the LAs and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, where my family is from in the South is Perry, Warner Robins, Fort Valley, right? My mom's family. My father's family is from Asbury Park, Neptune, New Jersey. They not necessarily from the Trentons or the Manhattans and the DCs and shit like that. So we from the small areas outside of the large areas. And I wanted to show the motherfuckers that was from there that we could whoop their ass the same way they was whooping ass.
I'll be there.
When it came to music, and that's the motivation. I mean, that's why the sound has always sound. You know, a lot of the times I would get criticized when I would be working with people that may have had a smaller following locally, like they want to sound like everybody else, and I'm like, no, we gonna sound distinct, and we gonna sound better than everybody else.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be about. You know what I mean? And you named all the people we work with. That working with those people is a blessing. And working with you, being able to work with these big names that all these people chase and want to get to and dream to, but still having that connection to where the up and coming guy like me, we can make tons of songs, because me and you done did plenty of shit.
Right.
Like, that meant everything to me, because we got the confirmation that what we was doing was just as big as the motherfuckers who was doing it big. But we kept it right where we wanted to keep it, with the people who we were close to and family.
Right on.
And we were able to get people, you know, who were coming up and work with people who are up and comers. Mm-hmm. We were able to work with them, and then they start getting attention. They start, you know what I mean, seeing big things. That's what was important. The music to me is supposed to, competing is what goes on in music, and when you compete, you're trying to compete to show people you're on the playing field of being just as big as the big names.
Great.
You know, I watch what you do with the gold mine, and I started running my fucking mouth. I'm sorry.
No, man, you good.
But I
man.
watch what you do.
Like
I got a lot to say about music. I watch what you do, like with your music, just watching how you've developed in your career, and I'm in awe. Because when I first met you, we was working 9 to 5 in the call center, and the stuff you was doing, it seemed like you was. It's all right. I didn't mean to pull it. Is it good? I'm good. If you can still hear me, fuck it. When I first met you, you know, it seemed like you was messing with your guys in CTE, doing dope ass music with them. But listening to you, I could tell that you were like prepared and wanting to go for something so much bigger, and you deserved it. You know what I mean? And every day I've seen you work hard towards it. A lot of people. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's real. Like. A lot of people, they all my closest call me like a hermit when it comes to music, right? Because I kind of sit back, I'm quiet. Even you, and even Fiend, you brought up Fiend. These guys, y'all guys who really watch me and deal with me, kind of call me a hermit, because I kind of sit back. I don't put my face out there. I ain't commenting on everybody's little social media. I'm not trying to be all, but what I am doing is I'm always watching. You know what I mean? I watch my people, and I watch you, and it's like, it went from, yeah, man, I'm kind of working with these guys, I got something going, to I'm doing my own goddamn thing, to it's a movement, I'm doing this, I got shirts, I got this, I got the podcast, so all this shit is brilliant. It's an honor to be on here. That's what I'm trying to get to.
And I appreciate
it.
You know what I
mean? It's an honor to be on here. It's an honor to be worthy of it.
Right on,
you know
man.
What I mean?
I always tell people, man, you was the guy that kind of molded my niche sound. You know what I'm saying? Like, before, I was rapping about my life, rhyming about my life, but, you know, just doing it on a scale of just, I just want to impress my neighborhood.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just want to put on for the field and my block and you know, and my side and make us proud. And I don't know disrespect to nobody else, but just kind of like neighborhood pride type of thing. That's what I was on, and it was just like a localized mind state. Right. I got with you and just heard the change in the production, and it's like a worldwide feel, man. And it just had like such a universal appeal, and it was, you know, of course, based in soul and hip hop, which is the root of. Regardless of how many mainstream records and club records is on the radio right now, the essence of why we all do this shit goes back to the sound that you provide. Yeah. And that shit made me step my lyrical game. I always been a songwriter. I always been able to get my point across and tell stories, but the actual technique of it, man, and
Right.
me taking a serious approach and trying to up my bar game, that came from you, man.
I appreciate it. That mean a lot to me.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you. And
And
but it still resonates
Yeah, that's
with your
the most
neighborhood.
epic shit. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So
like,
what I thought initially was me, which it was me. It wasn't all of me. It wasn't all of me, you know what I'm saying? So I was just speaking to a certain small group,
right.
and that's all I can see. I couldn't see what was going on around me in the world, man. And then I got, and the music just took me down. Like, damn, you know.
But I think what it is a lot of artists think that they only have to impress the neighborhood, and you do. But the way you really impress the neighborhood, because when you only trying to impress your neighborhood, you're trying to make them proud to be with you, right?
Yeah.
Because you're there. But when you go and show that you can compete not only in your neighborhood but also abroad,
Right.
you not only make them proud to be with you because you're going to stay with them, but you also make them proud of you. You know what I mean? Like,
Righteous.
I give you an example. This is after we had done like 5 or 6 records. A couple of them was commercial sound, a couple of them was street, and one of them was the street ones. You shot the video for when we went to your apartment and shot part of it. You remember this?
Glory.
Yeah, Glory. It was kind
Yeah.
of hip hop.
Yeah.
And then we went and shot it in the neighborhood. And something I watch. So I stepped back, and while you're shooting the video, we had to keep pausing because random people who was walking by was stopping to just show their admiration for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's because you were somebody who was competing on that national level, but also showing them that you was the best where you're from as well, to where they was not only proud to be with you, they was proud of you, to where they was interrupting the process, and it was love. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right on.
you know, and so, yeah, that's what we wanted. That's what we set out to do, man. I always wanted to show people like where I'm from and who are like me, just everyday guy. I ain't no tough guy. I ain't no drug dealer. I ain't none of these. I'm not rich. My family was poor. We came from humble beginnings, and I'm just a regular motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm pretty much the most average guy, but I wanted to show that even if you didn't do the most extreme thing, as far as whether it was positive or negative, you could still compete at an extreme level. And
Right.
you could still make it. That's most important to me. So now when I go home, whether I go to the south and see this side of the family, or I go up north and see this side of the family, nigga, I'm Superman where I'm from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm a regular motherfucker. You know, I told my father, like, thinking about the neighborhood we come from, I looked at him and told him, you the most successful person that ever came from my neighborhood, because you did it without selling drugs. You did it out without hurting people. And I'm continuing in your legacy, because these things that I've done and I accomplished, being a regular motherfucker who just put the extra work in, it inspired them. I got kids who 15, 16 to 25 from my neighborhood that hit me up all day on social media because of things I did. You know, motherfuckers bring me back my songs not knowing that's something I produced, telling me how much they love it and da-da-da-da. When I can tell them that, yo, I did that, they face light up. And then what I see them go get to it. You know what I mean? I see them go pull it off. Like, and you know some of the guys in my camp, I'm the oldest one in my production team. I kind of corral these 3 guys like they my little brothers.
Yeah.
And just from watching my moves and my actions, and the type of stuff you're talking about, and making it resonate with home, they all branched out on their own and went to go start producing for people and doing things too.
Yeah.
They started getting the names of coming back to me like, yo, remember when you did it, nigga, I did it better. And that's the real payoff. And I'm happy for that. I love it. Like,
Ain't nothing like it, man.
You
Seeing
know?
your people win, man.
yeah.
And I think that's another thing that kept us connected to. Even though we kind of, grew up a little bit and had to go on and make lives for ourselves outside of the music, that was still the core. We always come back together, man, and just like just seeing how you supported my shit, man, and believed in it, man.
That's real.
It's inspiring, man, and it always got to come full circle, which is why we here now.
Yeah. And and that's why I say for you to bring me on here, you know what I mean? Because I took a break. I took a little break from music. Just not really took a break. I actually just been stacking music. I took a break from chasing it,
Yeah.
from chasing the names, but for you to still be reaching out to me, and I know I
Yeah.
ducked it for a while because I don't do the camera thing, right?
Yeah.
I ducked you for like a whole year for this, but I made sure.
We're keeping it
I made
100,
sure I'm
man.
keeping it 100.
Yeah.
But I watched every goddamn episode like I'm gonna give this motherfucker a call, and today it happened just because you said you might be coming this way. I said I owe him. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I owe him. Like and,
That's
and
real shit, man.
I owe
That's
you.
solid shit.
Like if I can't say I support you if I don't show up for you. You know
Solid,
what I'm saying?
man.
Like motherfucker can't say that, say they support you, and that's what I think. I that's what I've tried to do with everything that you or any of our guys have done. Like I done been in clubs. Motherfuckers done had me in traps.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers done had me in studios. And I'm not that tough guy. And I'm in these places like, shit. You know what I'm saying? For the love of the music. You
Right
feel me?
on.
I'm honest. I don't front. I don't lie.
Right.
Like, I don't ever try to be that. And y'all always made sure everything was good and we created good music out of it.
yeah.
And I think
Oh,
the
yeah.
fact that I was able to go to real places with you and see where you came from, I think that's what made us make some dope ass music. All of
man.
us, you know what I'm saying?
Like my favorite shit, man. Like the new stuff is jamming, and the people gravitated to that more because that's more the today's sound.
Right.
But my favorite shit that I can sit back and zone out to, because I like to zone out the music. Right now, it's a motion industry. You got to be moving. You got to be judged by dancing, which is cool because people want to live their life now.
Right.
Forget about the bullshit. Just live. You know what I'm saying? But the shit I like to zone out to, man, is the shit we created. And the song was Reflections, not Glory.
Reflections. You're
Reflection.
right. Reflections. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
No,
mean,
no.
with the music nowadays, it's fast food, right? It don't stick to you. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
eat crystals and that shit be gone in an hour. Like, I want the music that we make with anybody to be something that stick with you because
Timeless.
the
Yeah.
dope ass music that you really love, no matter who you with, whether it's with your parents, your family, workers, fellow workers at your job, whatever, if a song come on, everybody starts singing and tapping it. There's so many songs that people tell us are hits that once they fall off, you never hum that shit when you just walking through the store at Walmart. I want our music to be the shit that you gonna hum when you just walking through the goddamn store and ain't no music playing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I wanted to make. That shit that you just have to stick with you. And yeah, I like the oldies too. And people call them the oldies, but music is timeless.
Yeah.
Only in this bullshit we do in hip hop do we try to treat music like it lives in this type of vacuum where it can only be hot for a certain amount of time. Yet if I put on a Marvin Gaye record, I don't give a fuck if you 5 or 50, you gonna dance or you gonna sing. So don't tell me music isn't timeless. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to treat our hip hop that we make. So when y'all artists are making this music, make something that you think you can hear forever. You know what I'm saying? Make something where when you 22, when you made it, when you 40, you can put it on and still be proud and jam to it. Like that's what I wanted to provide for artists when they came to me for production. Because I had niggas rapping over Roy Ayers, Willie Hutch before they knew who Willie Hutch was.
Yeah.
All these names, man. I had motherfuckers rapping over these samples and things like that when I was making these beats. And they had no idea who they were, but I would always tell them, you need to go look them up. You need to learn. And then they come back to me with records, and that's my favorite thing when y'all come back to me and tell me to sample something.
So your story is funny. I like to talk to producers, man, to see how their journey started, because you wouldn't even hear some of the same stuff that you saying that the homie QP was saying. It's like in line,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's confirmation.
Because it's authentic.
Yeah, man. So what similar to QP, you was MCing as well. What made you say? Because the boy is nice. He don't like to put his shit out there. He don't let me hear 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah,
He dead ass nice. Like, that up north shit. Dead ass, B. You feel me? And I heard this nigga for the first time. I'm like, that's you? What the fuck is you doing? You like a 2-headed monster. You know what I'm saying? You got a production and man, come on, man. But, he prefer to be behind the boards, man. And a very humble guy. I want to know what made you decide, you know what? Let me lay this to the side. And I like the production more.
You know what it really was 2 things. Number one was necessity. I ran with a crew of 14 niggas, right? I was the computer nerd, and we had niggas who dance, we had niggas who rap, and we had niggas who was some tough guys, whatever they did. I was the nerd of the group. I was the guy who fixed everybody's computer. I was the one that recorded us. I was the one that did the thing he doing with the camera. I designed websites for people, and I was rapping. I was rhyming. I was battling actually. I started out in music battling. Like I was the guy when me and my guys went to the club. We was at high school. We was at after high school. We was at going to college campuses. I was a nigga. They would walk into the dorm room and there's 10 niggas cheering for this guy, and I make them all stop cheering for him. You know what I mean? But what happens is everybody wants to rap in this crew of mine, but nobody knew how to make a beat. So it was necessity. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had people who was financially backing us. We had some real guys financially backing us who was like, if y'all get your shit together, we'll put you in place. And the second thing was my late mother. My late mother actually, when she was younger, she ran one of the first black music stores in Perry, Georgia. It was a place where people even from Macon who couldn't buy black music in Macon because of the racism that was going on, they had to go 75 South to go buy records from her. So it's people who to this day still know me and our family because when they was 16 and now they 55, 60, whatever, when they was 16, 20, they was able to, they went to my mother to hear Marvin Gaye for the first, to own Marvin Gaye for the first time, rather than hear him, to own James Brown. And so my mother was always rooted and connected to music, and she understood it. And so when she noticed that I started trying to do the music, when it came time to start doing the music, and she saw that she was peeping it. She became sick and ill with cancer, and she was home a lot. And I would try to stay home as much as I could to be close to her.
Yeah.
And she would always be like, "What are you doing?" Because, what are you doing in there? I hear a lot of racket, and I was ashamed to tell her. Like, I'd be in there trying to rap low. You know what I mean? I had the cheap microphone. I ain't have a pop filter. Nigga be holding a napkin trying to rap into the mic without making the noise. And what ended up happening, man, was cancer is a motherfucker, and she was having fear of sleeping because my mother used to, and this is some deep shit, like, my mother used to fear sleeping because when, she was close to passing, so she would not want to go to sleep because she feared she may never wake. And so she would stay up till 6, 7 in the morning, and I would stay up every night with her, and I would be making music. I had my little Fruity Loops on my cheap little laptop, and so she started to notice. My father would be like, "Turn that shit off." He military minded, and also, he from a real place. Shut the fuck up. Turn that off in my house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I met Pop. Shout out to Papa Drumgang, man.
Yeah,
cool as a motherfucker, man.
And I went to him like, "Yo, I want to get some equipment and I want to start working." He was like, "Hell nah." He says, "QP says save here." A week later, a van pulls up to the house. It's this guy, God rest his soul, man. He worked for my mother at a business. He passed away over the years, but he worked for my mother at her store she was managing. And he was a DJ for Fort Valley State's student center parties every Saturday. He had mad equipment that he didn't even use. My mother just naturally without telling me, put in the call to him, "I need to get him some equipment." One Saturday morning, this nigga pulled up with 2 mic stands, condenser mics, phantom power, started showing me like what keyboards and beat machines I needed to have, and just gave me the equipment. And then my mom was like, "Yeah,
wow." He
told me what to order. I already ordered it. 3 to 5 business days later, I got like an NPC. Wow. This was mom's, like but she was trying to leave me with something. That's and this is going to tie into something. I'm gonna show you what's real. She was trying to lead me to something because she saw that I had such a passion for it. And if she was going to leave, then she was going to leave me with something. So that first week, like, I started watching producer videos on YouTube. I had no idea how to use MPC. I'd been in studios with them, but I never had used them. And I saw RZA do a video that said, "Don't ask a motherfucker how to work a beat machine." He said, "Break it and put it back together." So I started trying to find every minute thing about that machine till I understood it. Then me and my homie went in together and got a Korg Triton. We used every fucking sound in there while watching Manny Fresh videos, right? And DJ Toomp videos.
Damn.
And I just started honing my craft and studying it and really learning music. Because I'd done band and shit like that as a kid, but I really didn't like stick to me. But now I'm learning music. I learned how to read and write music on my own with my mother over my shoulder. She watching the whole everything. And the beats just started coming. Around the time when I met you, honestly, I was well known for the music, but that's when, in my opinion, and people who are real honest with me, when my shit was really starting to sound cohesive. You know what I mean? At that point, I had already did a record for Big Sean when he first got signed to Kanye, and he picked a beat that I wasn't even sure of, nor was the motherfucking finish. He just liked it that much. So I didn't even have an idea of how I wanted my sound to be. I had to develop and get it together. Yeah. And I met you, a few other guys in Macon, because I had just moved to Macon, and y'all, working with y'all actually helped hone my craft. You taught me how to make beat. You don't even know this. This is some shit you don't know. You taught me how to craft instrumentals to where how to make a fucking song. Because you got so many producers who might be nice and want to sample these samples that sound good, but it don't sound like a song. You got these producers who could put 1,000 different sounds in the beat on the keyboard, but it don't sound like a cohesive record. They get in their own way. They don't understand the voice is the last instrument you add to the song. And so working with you taught me what that extra instrument I had been missing was. And you're a songwriter. You get these niggas who just want to do verses and these little popcorn hooks. You taught me bridges. You taught me choruses. You taught me vocal structure on a song. You taught me inflection. You taught me how to just leave room for you to just ad-lib it in the way a real artists do. You know what I mean? You don't even know that. That's something I really learned from you. And so now I can make this.
I'm humbled, man. I'm humbled.
I can make the most simplest beat. But because I understand from what I learned with you, I can make that beat to where the artist is going to feel immediately comfortable, like I can do a song to this record. And so to tie it all back though, with what got me into it, I signed a deal. You remember with a major DJ, got help get us a deal. That was in the last months of my mother's life, and she had kept telling me just stay at it, because I had worked with Big Sean and I ain't worked with nobody else as far as the mainstream, right? I felt like that was just some flash in the pan shit. I was ready to give it up. And my mother is getting sicker and sicker. She got a few months to live. And she was like, stay at it. Something gonna come for you. Y'all gonna do this. If you really wanna do this music thing, you're gonna do it. You're gonna be successful. And the day she passed was also the same day that the DJ sent me the contract to go get it notarized for my first deal. I left the hospital at 3 p.m. after they had taken her off of life support and she had transitioned, and went straight to UPS while my family went home to mourn to get the notary to do the paperwork.
Damn.
My mother left me with the deal, and that's why it's like it ain't even bothering me that much, because I knew she left me with my path. You know what I mean? She's still with me. So every time I do music, that's my mother with me, and that's what made me leave rap, stick to producing, and then bust my ass to be a real producer and really make music. Was the fact that
I felt that shit.
The only way I could stay connected to and this is some true shit. Like, this is the type of shit I felt one-on-one with mine about. The only way I can, not the only way, but the way I'm the most strongly connected and I feel her is every time I do music, because she left me with music. You know what I mean?
She left you with that purpose, man.
She left me with a purpose. Like, if ever somebody was your guardian angel and directed you towards something, it was her doing that. And so that's what made me, like I said, want to try to compete with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Who were your influences when you first started this shit, when you was trying to find your niche sound?
My favorite producer and mentor is DJ Premier. You know, just... And it's not just for the music, because people think it's like just because he when y'all talk to me about it and y'all listen to my sound, that people think it's just because of the East Coast sound, but it's not just that. It's the fact that, number one, he's from Texas. He came from somewhere, moved to somewhere, and defined their sound. So he was able to be from anywhere and be the best at being what he wanted to be.
Damn
because you know it's to come from outside. Where was he? Outside of Dallas or Houston? I
Houston.
forget. Houston, outside of Houston. To come from where it came from and then go somewhere, and his song was so strong. His sound was so strong. Excuse me, where he was at in New York. It showed me, because I'm a transplant. I move. You know what I mean? It showed me that you can do it. And my other favorite producers was we both share that Nas is our favorite rapper. We both, you know what I'm saying? QP say him too. Large Professor is my second favorite producer. I sometimes will put the 93P or the P on stuff, and it's really just paying homage to him, because I feel like he taught me when I was learning music. Them late nights, that's who I was listening to. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of what I do, and a lot of the stuff, when I put that on there, it's really paying homage to both of them. Their names both start with the P. And then third for me is Manny Fresh, and it's just because for so long he held the sound so dominant somewhere, and his music is like, if you listen to an instrumental from Manny Fresh, you feel like you're there. You know what I'm saying? You feel like somebody about to bring you some gumbo. You feel like, you know what I'm saying? You feel like it's
a vibe.
You're going to walk outside and it's going to be 100 degrees outside, and it's going to be the thickest women you ever see. And the best damn looking cars and the best food is in the air. You feel like, if you ever been in New Orleans, his music make you feel like that. And I had never been there, but I could listen to his production and you feel like you was walking through the streets. Then when I got to go, it was like confirmation, like, this nigga really took all of this and put it in a sound. You know what I mean? And I got to go to real places in New Orleans and not no tourist shit, but to really see neighborhoods and see how they living. And his music is that. You know what I mean? And so I give you top five, and I won't make it too much longer.
Nah, you good. Y'all making my job easy, man. I like just it being organic and let it flow, man.
My number 4 is Teddy Riley and Keith Sweat. People hear me say that shit, I be like, they hip hop.
Oh yeah.
If you go back and listen to all the Keith Sweat shit, it was 808s. Niggas is so hard on 808s. Keith Sweat was the king of the 808.
Hey,
you know, Make It Last Forever is some of the best 808 work. Like, if you really listen, you know what I'm saying? So much music that's out is based on what they took soul music and made it into. They put hip hop with it. And so they number 4 for me. And I originally would always say Teddy Riley, but I recently found out that Keith Sweat was making a lot of that shit, and that blew me away. Like, it was really the two of them. Like, that's number 4, and then number 5. It's always a toss up at number 5 for me, because I want to say somebody like Just Blaze or something like that, but then like. I really like some of these new producers. I really do like some of these new producers, and I really like that kid Metro Boomin that's hot right now. Because as a producer, and what I just talked to you about is the song, listening to an artist and learning how to make a song from him. When you listen to that brother's music, I can really tell that he did the same thing. Because a lot of his stuff may not be too full, but it's perfectly laid for artists to just glide over them motherfuckers. Yeah. And so he's somebody who developed with the same thing I talked about, I learned from you, and that's being able to make something where artists are comfortable. And I know he's a new name, and I listen to a lot of old school shit, but that's just how dope he is to me, like the way he knock a lot of niggas off, because a lot of producers don't know they can make a dope beat, but they don't know how to make just that bed of music for anybody to get on, and that's what he got. You know what I mean? And I think those of us who are such into old school music get put on with the you only like the old shit, but it's young guys like him that are amazing, and I know you're a fresh name, but
that's solid.
Those are people I like. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think nobody could debate your list, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I could give you tons of. I can give you Kwame. I can give you tons of old school names. You know what I'm saying? Beats by the Pound. I can give you. You know what I'm saying? Working with Fiend, actually getting to meet them and getting to see KLC make a beat 5 feet away from me. Because he's another one like Manny Fresh that brought that sound. So I can name Knife Wonder. I could just name producers for days, but those are like when I say like 5, and I like having that young guy in there with them old guys, because I think you gotta respect the young. You gotta respect the work. Music is timeless. I can't say just
Absolutely.
because it's 5 years old, it's not as good as if it was 30 years old.
Man, it's like the same identical conversation, man. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this: you name your top 5 producers. Give me like your top 5 records that you produce.
Top 5 records I produced.
Yeah.
Um,
It don't even have to be top 5. Just name your top records you produce, man. So I won't put you in the string like
yeah, the 2 Chainz Chalk Lines.
Okay.
That was a big record. It was the first time because for a few reasons, it further solidified what we was trying to prove to people, and it was also the first record he released under the name 2 Chainz when he made the switch from Titty Boy.
History lesson
A lot of people
again.
don't know that.
Yeah.
When he made the switch, he shot a video for it right over close to Edgewood. Got a video and everything for the song, and it was kind of when he was getting ready for that Def Jam run he started or whatever. It was before that, like.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those records that helped him transition, and it did a lot for us too, because of course down here where we at, people love him, and the fact that he
Shout
took a
out to
soul
China.
beat from us, and we sent him a bunch of trap stuff, but he took the soul record and he killed it,
He killed it.
and that meant a lot because it let me know that I can get my sound off. You know what I mean? Even if it's with the big name Southern artists. So many people told me don't take that hip hop stuff to these Southern big artists, and I'm like, man, they love
What?
music.
South
People-
got something to say.
Yeah,
man.
South got something to say. They love y'all love music. Y'all are y'all creators of soul in the South. You feel me? In the blues, so like it's preposterous.
And we love everybody for the record,
it's
but
preposterous
the
for a
South got
motherfucker
something
to
to
tell me I can't take soul to the people who created it. You see what I'm saying? And so, second would be probably the Mac Miller record, mainly because that was one of the ones that exposed us to a shit ton of people, and it made them come listen to you, Chief. And so, you know what I'm saying? It got people from all over the country. It got people from up north, out west, and so on. And my third favorite record that I did was a record by you, Walking Away.
Man, I was hoping you were gonna name that one.
And I tell you why is because we had been doing a couple songs. We was doing that project, and we had hit like a few songs where I felt like you wanted to say something. Like we had did a couple records that might have been a little light on the ears, but I felt like you wanted to like say something. You know what I mean? You had a lot of shit to say, like, and I wanted to give you something to where you could be as brutally honest. And that record is like that record is like somebody sitting down having a real conversation like I just had with you about my mother. It don't even feel like you're listening to music. You listen like somebody's like, listen, I need this. I got this on my heart, and that's what that record is. And you brought in Christy to sing on it, right?
Shout out Christy.
And
Christy Richardson.
yeah, Christy Richardson, and the way she did it, and y'all sound together, man. Remember, I used to hit you up like, yo, can we get Christy on the record? You know what I'm saying? After that, and you'd be like, we gonna see what we can do. I started because that record was like it was my favorite from you, like, and it still is.
That's my favorite record that I've done to date. Now I got other records that I love that are my babies that I feel like, man, if I can get this off, man, it's gonna take me to another plateau.
Right.
But when I think about my personal favorite, Walking Away.
Walking Away, man.
Because I basically I called Christy and I kind of hummed the hook for Walking Away from it. And she just picked that shit up just like that.
Man.
She said, say it for me one more time. Walking away from it. And okay,
There's so much soul on that record.
Yeah, man.
And it's so much
and it's so the vocals are naked. I didn't try to do too much. I just had it like it's conversational, man. It's like
It's
me
raw.
telling me. It's also showcasing my storytelling ability, and I'm also, it's like therapy for me too because I'm talking about real life situations. You know what I mean?
And that's why I was saying, like, I remember when we was working on that stuff, I could tell you wanted to say more. You know what I mean? Like, not to say you wasn't saying anything, but I could tell, like, you wanted to just open up. You know what I'm saying? And you reserved like I am. And for guys like us, we sometimes don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We real cold, we real quiet, cool, calm, and collected. And on that record, and it impressed the fuck out of me. and it made me feel real accomplished because when you do something the way you're creating for somebody, you want to get feelings out of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like one of my favorite books is Like Water for Chocolate. Common also made the album off of it. The book is about the girl who can cook, and her cooking is so thorough, and she's so connected to a spirit that she invokes the same feelings she's feeling while she's cooking out of the people. So if you go to her restaurant while she's mad, you're going to be sitting there eating the steak, loving the fuck out of it, mad. Okay? And to tie it all together, when I was going through shit in my life, and then you're talking to me, I remember we was riding somewhere to get ready to go do a song, and you just started opening up to me. And I instantly thought, we got to get this in a song. And that's why we did Walking Away. Because you just started talking, you know what I mean? We two homeboys, you know, sometimes we don't really get too deep. And then you just started, like, telling me, like, and I was like, this brother want to say something. And that's why it's one of my
life was in, I was in the trenches then, man.
That's my third favorite. My fourth favorite would be probably the Fiend record. The first joint I did for him is called Float. Reason that be one of my favorites is because Fiend is somebody that a lot of us looked up to when it came to hip hop.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I grew up listening to bro, man. Shout out Fiend.
And yeah, and same here. And my older brother used to play it. You know what I'm saying? I got an older brother, a few years older than me. That was his era, and he used to just jam it. And these were like, this is one of the OGs for us as hip hop fans. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, no doubt.
And so I hadn't even known that I did the record. This is how crazy it was. I sent some beats their way, and DJ had got the deal through. He was like, the fuck? You didn't tell me you gave a beat to Fiend? And I was like, Fiend? Shit, tell me, you know what I mean? And Fiend reached out to me after the DJ put the word out, and he was like, I want to take care of you because we did this track, so I want to make sure I honor you first and take care of you. And he said, but I fell in love with the record. I done already shot a video to it. And it was on 420. And he was like, it's a song about smoking. I want to put the video out today. So let me take care of you so we can put the video out. Like, it was that serious to him. Like, so we had the conversation, you know, we got good. And like 10 minutes later, it was like a blast with the video on like all the sites and blogs and shit. Because he really was waiting to make sure he got me straight. And
that's solid shit, man.
Yeah,
you don't find it often.
And the record went crazy everywhere as far as underground's concerned. And he's on tour with Currency and the Jets, and they're doing that whole thing. And you know, he the OG on the team, so he would come out and he would do a few of the classics. Then he'd do some of the records with them, and the kids and the hip hop heads would know him. You know what I'm saying? And what made me the most proud was when our record came on. Everybody knew that motherfucker, you know, and like they partied. He stage dived to the record, and it's like, yo, this is one of your OGs, and he values your work enough to where it's now like his signature song for this time period. You know what I'm saying? And my fifth favorite record was a record I did for Cool G Rap. I did a record for Cool G Rap that was on the Grand Theft Auto 5 mixtape. And it was Cool G Rap and a Brooklyn artist named Wise P on there. And the reason why is because Cool G Rap is my father's favorite rapper. Yeah, old school gangster rap fan. Yeah. This was his favorite rapper. Like when we was listening to Nas, you know, he'd be, man, that nigga sound just like Cool G Rap. You know what I mean? Like he'd be hating that first till he started to appreciate Nas. But when I did that record, it felt so damn good because I was able to send it to my pops, and he was like, "Oh, this is a new Cool G Rap. I didn't even know he was still putting them out." And I was like, "Yeah, that's my beat." He's like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? Richard Pryor. I tell you what it felt like. Richard Pryor got a quote, and I think J. Cole even used it on his new CD, where he says, "I went home and told my father I had more money than I had this much money," and he said, "Nigga, get the fuck out of my house. Joe Lewis ain't got that much money." And so my father's reaction was like almost the same, like, "Get the fuck out of here. Don't be telling me that bull." You know what I mean? And then like I went to his house, I pulled the laptop out, and I broke the beat down in front of him, and he was like, "You did this," and I was like, "Yeah." And he was one of my biggest challenges. He supported me, but he was one of my biggest challenges because my pops don't take no shit. When it came to me pursuing music, And around that same time, I got T-shirts printed for the first time. I go, and I come over one day, and this man is randomly walking around in one of our shirts. He had never did no shit like this. And I was like, yo, where did you even get a shirt? And he was like, shit, my son produced a Cool G rap, but I wore this shirt to work today. I was like, God damn, he worked for the government.
Shout out, Pop.
He worked for the government.
Yeah.
And he really did that. He really did. You know what I'm
Right
saying?
on, man.
He really, and so that's why it's one of my favorite songs, because I was able to prove to one of my biggest challenges, who still challenged me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That this is for real. And there was also another record where we worked with another one of the OGs, because being able to just work, it's cool to work with the young crowd. It's cool to work with the trendy, but these people who have these 30 and 35 year long careers that don't work with everybody, to still be able to impress them says a lot, I think. You know, and that's for us and also for you, because people like Fiend respect your work. You know, the people support you who've been doing music. Who've been doing music for a long time, and so it just was something. It's just cool to get that confirmation that I can rock and compete with anybody.
That's solid, man.
Yeah.
What's up next with the whole Drumgang?
Well, next up, I'm working on another instrumental project. Something I like to do, for people who may not be aware of it, is I do instrumental projects. It's almost like exercise for us. It's my way of staying sharp. Jay-Z said if you rap, you should rap every day. If you shoot and play basketball, you should shoot 1,000 free throws a day. So I do these to kind of exercise. I toss them out there. People use them. People do whatever you want. It's my way of supporting indie artists who want to make original music too, to something. I throw them out to them. But then also something else I'm doing is we're doing a lot of work now with like podcasts, producing music for podcasts, a couple video games, also TV. I've scored a few independent movies now. I got like 4 under my belt. We did TV. We got music on MTV's 16 and Pregnant Teen Mom Show or whatever. We got music that play on there. You know what I'm saying? So I still do the hip hop. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? I still got some stuff coming hip hop, but I wanted to also show these guys who were young that you could compete and get the hottest song out, but it's also other creative ways to use your music that'll generate revenue for you that don't necessarily have to be a rap song, but it could still be all authentic in your music. You know what I mean? And so we got some stuff coming in, a few shows, and a couple movies, and I will be scoring another independent movie pretty soon.
I also heard you working on some new Sloan stuff, man.
And that we get to that too.
Oh, that's another one. That's another thing I want to tell you. Besides Walking Away, my second favorite song that I did with you is Caddy Keys, man.
Caddy Keys?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that was another one.
Fiend,
and that was
man.
another one where with Fiend, like you said, and you got on there and you went toe to toe with one of the OGs. You know what I'm saying? Like you got on a record. Y'all made a dope ass song that was a good party record, great vibe. Remember when we went and y'all performed it? The whole crowd go crazy.
The crowd knew my verse.
The crowd knew your verse.
Man, that was like my first time ever, man.
We had 18-year-old little white kids
in the front row,
rapping Billy Slub. You know what I mean? Like, and they from way out Smyrna somewhere or something, or Buckhead or something, and they rapping with Billy Slum, jumping word for word, beat for beat.
I felt that, man.
And I was also proud as a fellow artist and a friend of yours, because I got to see you go and get on a record with one of the OGs, get on the record with somebody that's highly respected for 20, 25 years.
I mean, not only that, man, it was just somebody who shout out Fiend, man.
Yeah.
You know, that man had no obligation to rock me. He jumped on my record.
Yeah.
And he even liked the record so much, he said, hey, man, I want to put this on my project,
he wanted to put it.
And that took me to another level versus me I had been around, the industry for a while, but, some people, we were kind of kept in the cut.
That's how,
and to be humble enough to share his platform and say, hey, man, check Lil Bro out, man, and that mean everything to me, so anytime he hit me up, hey, I need such and such long. I need you to shoot me a hook. Okay, say no more. Yeah, you got that.
And it was organic. You know what I'm saying? You super talented, super humble, so creative, he had to reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? I was so proud that we were able to once again show that we could compete on any level and make it resonate with our neighborhoods. Because where we from and where we live in, they also love the record, and we was able to go see it do good abroad, like I said.
Yeah.
And I think that's really once again like what I'm about, man. I want to show these people who want to pursue these things that we can get it just like anybody else can. We don't have to just be considered the little guy. We can do big shit. You know what I mean? And we could take it home and we could take it abroad. And the internet is a motherfucker. A lot of what we did and we accomplished is through the internet. I know my guy QP got the site and whatnot. The type of stuff.
My bad. Let me pause that thought. It slipped my mind. The conversation was going so good. We are now sponsored. Excuse me. You see that up there? It says rebrandmybiz.com. Make sure you hit the homie up. He does good business. Solid guy. Been knowing him for years, man. And now officially one of the sponsors for Gold Mine Mondays and the kid, the Sloan Child, man. So salute, man. My bad. I ain't mean to cut you off.
It's all good.
Go ahead, man.
It's a beautiful thing because
I forgot to ask him his top 5 producers too. So we'll get to that.
We'll get there, but it's a beautiful thing because what he's promoting is the same thing I want to promote, man, and that's just helping people see us. We deserve it, man. We are the real ones doing this, man. These people who've been grinding for so long, and we appreciate authentic music and we make soulful music, and that's what we about. Ian asked top 5 rappers.
Oh, my bad. Hey, it's your moment. Who you top 5, man?
Nas.
Boom.
Nas. Nas.
Why he one of your faves, man?
Because he's teaching. He's really teaching. He taught me. He helped raise me. You know what I'm saying? Listening to his music, he helped raise me. It's so much in his music that applies to everybody's life. Like when I listen to Illmatic, being a kid that grew up city or even moving out the country, where I was living in Fort Valley, he was talking about shit that I could relate to on every level. And his ability to put words together, the soul in his music, the way he appreciates the producers that I consider mentors and idols, you know what I'm saying? And people, he helped raise me. My second to be Scarface. Just because Scarface did what you did. Scarface did what you did. He did what you did with Walking Away. You know what I'm saying?
Evoke that emotion.
Yeah, he did what you did with Walking Away. Scarface is somebody that can get on a record and give the most honest of feelings. And he's also somebody, everybody talk about mental health now. Scarface was trying to tell us that shit in 1995. You know what I mean? He was trying to tell us what we now are realizing we have to deal with.
It's a norm. They're making it a norm now.
And he was telling us that. And third is Beanie Siegel.
Before you get into Siegel, man, shout out to OG Siegel. The homie slid a question in. Back to Nas. You talk about Nas's production, beat selection. He says it's not the best. Why do you think that is?
It can be terrible sometimes.
Yeah.
But the reason why is his ability. He's the last instrument added to the track, and if the instrument is that fucking amazing, then that's going to take even the most subpar song and make it everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? The way Nas rhymes and the way he puts words together, it's like that's another cadence, that's another instrument, that's another rhythm. He is, like he just said it, he is the beat. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sometimes Nas is so dope, and you tap into this sometimes. I'll keep it 100, and this is just being real. You tap into this sometimes to where you kind of hit this zone to where the beat need to take a back seat and shut the fuck up and listen to you. You know what I mean? And great artists do that, and so it's even when you listen to people like Biggie didn't have, some of his beats may not have been the biggest or the best. They might have just been simple samples and drum lines playing, but because of his ability to just perform,
knew how to ride a fucking beat.
Yeah, he ride a beat so much to where you forget the beat sound like, why did this make a major project? The beat sound like everything. Some of your favorite Biggie beats and Biggie songs if you just listen to the instrumental, you wouldn't listen for longer than 30 seconds. But when he on it, you put it on repeat all day.
Come on, man, talk.
You know
talk,
what I mean? And so
you think Nas need better beat? So he don't need better beats in your opinion?
I think he might need beats that are better. He need to get beats that are better suited for song making, like what I talked about.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I think Nas is somebody who picks beats because he can just outdo them and not necessarily do the best song to him. So if it's about does he need great beats? All artists need great production, sure. That's what we want him to have. Excuse me. That's what we want him to have. But Nas don't necessarily need great beats.
Yeah.
Nas don't. And I'll give you my last one so we can wrap up real quick. Is Andre 3000. I know a lot of people say that, and it's just because he was so dope growing up north, managed by Queen Latifah. Niggas thought he was from New Jersey. You know what I mean? Because he was managed by Flavor Unit.
Right.
And it's because his what he talked about, it transcended boundaries of states and so on. So he's just somebody universally dope.
Man, so this has been a dope conversation, but unfortunately we almost out of time. So salute the Drumgang P.
Yeah, man.
Be sure to check out everything. Rebrandmybiz.com.
Yeah,
Follow me, Twitter, Instagram at Slum World Order.
And we have some big things coming, man. Some real big things, announcements to make. And a lot of silent, cool shit that I do too. That I gotta be more out there, but I like to just play it back. And I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man, my guy.
Yes,
and it's Gold Mine Monday.
Got some commas in the bank, now that's a major move. Free yourself from what they think, now that's a major move. When they're retracing your steps, you're making major moves. Can't see the hate, cause we too busy making major moves. Major moves, major.